Good morning. It does work. Buenos dias. Good to see everybody. Can you hear me in the back? Okay, sounds good. Good to see everybody. We've got a great program for you today that Maria is going to tell you a little more about here in just a moment. But a couple of quick mentions. It was about this time of the year, 15 years ago, that Voces de Santa Fe was founded. And so I just wanted to make a quick mention of two of our co-founders who are no longer with us, and we miss them so much, Pete Scott and Adelina Ortiz de Hill. So we remember them fondly. Just a couple of things here. Oh, I wanted to mention that our scholarship fund is in good shape. So thank you all to those of you who have contributed to it. Tita, thanks for your help in getting this thing off the ground. We've got a little more work to do, but we'll get it done. So is there any questions about your method of payment today? Anybody? You all got your envelopes? Yeah, hang on to those because your raffle ticket is inside. Well, everybody, enjoy your meal. Enjoy today's program. Maria?
Maybe you don't need to. Just keep it close to your mouth.
If I think of all of you as my family, maybe I won't get so nervous. But anyhow, Jaima will tell us what we're going to do today. My job right now is to introduce Jaima. Jaima Chevalier. If you don't know her, Al, you probably don't know her because this is your first time to a Voces event. Jaima, well, I asked Jaima, I said, give me some talking points so I can introduce you today. So she sent me just a few things, and I couldn't let it go with just a few things that she sent me. So I want to start off with my personal feelings about Jaima. Jaima and I first met at Connie Hernandez's beloved store, Milagro, on Old Santa Fe Trail next to Connie's. And probably many of you knew Connie and went into her Milagro store. From that meeting, a sisterhood grew, one rooted in shared values and purpose. Together, Jaima and I collaborated to ensure that three remarkable women were honored as Santa Fe living treasures: Connie Hernandez, Adelina Ortiz de Hill, and Maria Benitez. And you would think that those three women would obviously be treasures, but Jaima and I know from the Living Treasures Committee that it's very, very competitive. And it's there where I got to learn Jaima's passion for la gente from here. We both together worked to make sure that those three women were honored. We are deeply grateful for Jaima's ongoing contributions to Voces de Santa Fe, whether working quietly behind the scenes on our Facebook page or supporting our events. Her presence continues to enrich our community. Jaima is a past president and current director, Emeritus of the New Mexico Governor's Mansion Foundation. This organization is charged with protecting, preserving, and enhancing the chief executive's home, the People's House, as a multicultural home of the hopes and dreams of all New Mexicans. A Santa Fe native, Jaima works on books and films about her home state to help illuminate the unique stories that only the land of enchantment can tell. And I know some of us are fans of her books and of her films, and I hope you get a chance to talk to Jaima more about that today. Jaima.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much. I'll keep this brief. When we first kicked off this event, I thought I'm going to have to bribe people to come. I didn't realize all the art nerds and history buffs that make comprises Voces. We're so grateful for all of you, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the foundation really quickly. We have, if you look to see our leader from the foundation and chief docent, Doug Beck. He'll be available. He was a big contributor to the film. His team takes care of all the artwork, coordination with the museums, And so he's all the knowledge about all that, but you'll hear a lot of that in the film. The foundation is a nonprofit. It doesn't serve the chief executive, it serves the residents, which is a treasure for all New Mexicans. And during my term, we did a mission statement and decided this place should be a repository for the hopes and dreams of all of us. So I think you'll agree, if you've been here many times or if this is your first visit, there's so many cultures represented here. It's mind-boggling. One of the ways, so the docents give tours. You can check the website, NewMexicoGovernorsMansion.org. Bring your friends up. They have a Christmas open house. They have other events. One of the main ways they have to raise all their own revenue. They're not funded by state government. It's a private nonprofit. So they have the official state ornament program, and we can't sell them up here, but they're available at various retail locations and online. And I just wanted to show you one of the raffle presents is one of the official state ornaments. Yeah. So we'll give those out later. And then real quickly, Sherry Parsons was president during COVID, and we were devastated. We couldn't do our education and outreach. We couldn't do tours. We weren't really qualified as a shuttered venue. So the idea was, let's do a virtual tour, and ended up wanting to talk about some of the reasons why art is so important to New Mexicans and why so many artists have come here over the centuries. So we made this short film, and it was broadcast on PBS May 1st of 2021. So I won't belabor it. We'll start the film, and if you have questions afterwards. And then one more person, Mr. Griego. Is he around? The most important person. Our residence director, Adam Griego. If you have any questions, he and his team have put together a beautiful event for us today. So can we have a round of applause? And don't tell the governor that I said you're the most important person. Let's keep that quiet. Yeah. Okay. Let me turn this off so we don't pick up people snoring. They might, you never know.
Jaima,
Yes.
it appears you have the echo feature on your speaker. It's echoey.
Well, I don't think I'll do that for the movie. I think it's a weird mic. Sorry. That's a cheapo mic. Let me go back to the beginning. And if the sound is too loud, I can adjust it.
Down a little
Do this if you need more volume.
Welcome to the New Mexico Governor's Mansion. We are excited to have you visit this home on a virtual tour, touching on a few of the highlights of a building that houses some of the great art, furnishings, and architectural styles that our state is famous for, and that also serves as home of New Mexico's first family. We refer to the mansion as the People's House because it belongs to the entire state, reflecting New Mexico's famous multicultural heritage and rich history. Additionally, our well-known New Mexican tradition of hospitality is reflected in the building's open concept, stunning views, and welcoming portal. Here in the Southwest, a red chili ristro hung by the door to dry is an invitation to table and hearth. We want this building to be welcoming to everyone. In a state known for its beauty, art, and culture, we display pieces that reflect all of these strands of our story. We are excited for you to see how the mansion reflects this fascinating heritage. And to guide you on your journey through the building, allow us to introduce prize-winning historian Hampton Sides. Hampton is the author of numerous best-selling works of narrative nonfiction, including Blood and Thunder. Enjoy your tour and come visit.
First occupied in 1955, this is the third governor's residence. The first governor's residence dates back to 1610 when the city of Santa Fe was founded as the capital of the province of New Spain. After the Pueblo Revolt of 1680 led to the departure of the Spanish, the original building, known as the Palace of the Governors, was under Native American rule for a dozen years. When the Spanish returned in 1692-93, the building remained the Spanish governor's residence until 1821. It was then the home of the governor of the newly independent Mexico until 1846, the year when New Mexico was annexed by the United States as an official territory. All told, the Palace of the Governors served as home to various forms of government for nearly 3 centuries during periods of Spanish, Native American, and Mexican rule, and as a U.S. territorial capital and governor's residence until the early 1900s. The second governor's residence was a Greek Revival mansion built in a more traditional style that was partially a reflection of New Mexico's desire to become a state, which occurred in 1912. However, a disastrous flood from a nearby river made it unsafe and unlivable by the late 1940s. As we take you through highlights of today's governor's mansion, you will see that great care has been taken in developing its style, furnishings, and art to reflect New Mexico's rich cultural heritages: Native American, Spanish colonial, Mexican, and American. The architectural style is known as modified territorial. It recalls a sprawling hacienda of Spanish colonial days, design elements from the Native American pueblos, and the territorial style developed after New Mexico became a U.S. territory in the mid-1800s. The foyer is the mansion's reception hall, where guests can move freely into the public areas, welcomed by a large rug bearing an image of the state seal. Visitors received here are immediately drawn to 2 paintings emblematic of New Mexico's natural beauty and extraordinary artistic heritage. Northern New Mexico has attracted many great artists, including one of the most important pioneers of American modernism, Georgia O'Keeffe. When she first saw New Mexico in 1917, she wrote to her future husband, New York photographer and gallery owner Alfred Stieglitz, "I'm out here in New Mexico, going somewhere. I'm not positive where, but it's great, not like anything I ever saw before." After visiting New Mexico during numerous summers, she moved here permanently in 1949. The Southwest landscape and nature inspired her, and she continued to investigate its imagery for the rest of her life. Painted in 1945, Spring Tree No. 1 is inspired by the many cottonwoods that grew along the river near her home. Santa Fe Mountains in October by Sheldon Parsons is a classic fall landscape of magnificent aspens in the mountains which surround Santa Fe. Parsons was a prominent New York artist who came to Santa Fe in 1913 to take advantage of the healthy climate and fell in love with the expansive landscapes of the Southwest. He helped guide the New Mexico Museum of Art, opened in 1917, whose policy of providing free studio space to professional artists attracted young talent from the East, Midwest, and even Europe. The foyer is also home to one of the oldest pieces of furniture in the mansion. Known as a campaign table, tables of this type featured folding legs and were originally designed for military use when traveling during a campaign. This early 19th century table traveled to Santa Fe from Mexico City via ox cart along the 1,500-mile Spanish colonial trail known as El Camino Real, the Royal Road, that terminated in Santa Fe, then the capital of the Spanish Empire north of the Rio Grande. In those days, the journey took almost 6 months. The campaign table displays a series of holiday ornaments featuring distinctive examples of New Mexico culture, such as flamenco dancing, hot air balloons, our famous chili, the state gem turquoise, and a Cochiti Pueblo storyteller figure. The foundation's sale of these ornaments helps to underwrite expenses of preserving the beauty and legacy of this historic building. The living room is a popular meeting place during public functions and for the governor's family. The piano is central to festivities at the mansion, and many a famous player has tickled the ivories over the years. Another focal point is the fireplace and wide windows that show off outstanding views of the gardens on the mansion's 30-acre parcel. The living room features signature pieces representative of the many strands of New Mexican art, such as outstanding pottery, paintings and sculpture by Native Americans, tin work and carvings in the Spanish colonial and Mexican traditions, as well as fine paintings loaned from our outstanding New Mexico art museums. Here in the Southwest, Native American pottery making has evolved over the centuries, from basic uses for water, storage, cooking, to today's highly developed art forms prized by collectors around the world. This micaceous work, entitled Jar, 1997, is an interpretation of a utilitarian pot by Lonnie Vigil of Nambe Pueblo, a nationally known potter whose works are in many public collections, including the Smithsonian. Smoke and fire leave interesting shadows on the pots during the firing process. Native American artists have made significant contributions to every artistic medium. One of the most influential sculptors was Chiricahua Apache Allen Hauser, whose work is known globally for its fusion of modernist style with Native American themes. His sculpture, Nightwind, is a bronze produced in 1989. As a member of the faculty of the Institute of American Indian Arts in Santa Fe in the 1960s and 70s, and as a full-time sculptor thereafter, he influenced a generation of artists with his approach of presenting the Native American subject matter in a contemporary form. Until 1821, New Mexico was part of the Spanish Empire for nearly 300 years. During that time, a rich art tradition developed, often of religious works honoring traditional Catholic figures with unique regional characteristics. Today, Spanish colonial art in New Mexico is a vibrant industry. This piece, The Altar Screen, is by Anita Romero Jones, a native of Santa Fe who is renowned as a santera, an artist of saint images. The winner of many National Art Show awards, Romero Jones honors traditional religious figures by creating 10 altar screens as the backgrounds for her hand-carved wooden saints. The grand dining room is the perfect space to show off our famous New Mexican hospitality and food for convivial occasions. It also functions as a showplace for an important collection of art, custom and original furniture, and unique decor. The centerpiece is the dining table, which expands to 36 feet. It was created by Gene Law, a Santa Fe interior designer who was commissioned in the early 1990s to help plan the mansion's interior. He traveled to Spain to study Spanish furniture styles and consulted with the Pueblos and academic experts to understand Native American culture and design elements. The dining table incorporates 17th century Spanish motifs from the National Museum of Decorative Arts in Madrid, as do the matching chairs. Hanging above the table is a tin chandelier created by New Mexico artist Gary Blank. The chandelier emphasizes the state's historical ties to Mexico, where tin is a popular art medium. The New Mexican tradition of tin work began flourishing in 1846 when innovative Hispanic artists began recycling large tin food cans discarded by United States Army personnel during the Mexican-American War. One of the most popular decorative touches in the mansion is the dining room's stenciled ceiling. Stenciled by New Mexico artists, the design takes its inspiration from the Spanish palace near Madrid, where King Philip III signed the papers authorizing the settlement of Santa Fe. The dining room is currently the home to a dramatic painting by one of the first modernist artists to travel west to New Mexico in the early 20th century, Paul Berlin. Berlin received his art education in New York. He was already well known when he came to paint in Santa Fe, and his work was exhibited at the opening of the New Mexico Museum of Art in 1917. Berlin's work reflects the color and abstract geometry of Native American designs and was influenced by the symbols and legends of the southwestern Indian cultures, as portrayed in this painting entitled Indian Ceremonial Dance. Beneath the Berlin painting is a chest, specially designed by Gene Law, that combines 16th and 17th century Spanish elements. The sitting room is used for smaller gatherings. or as an adjunct to other public rooms. It also highlights authentic and custom-made traditional style furniture, religious wood carvings, and fine art. Joseph Henry Sharp was one of many fine young American artists who ventured off to Europe in the late 19th century to experience its art and culture. After traveling to New Mexico in 1883, Sharp returned to Paris the following year. Sharp enticed two other young American artists, Bert Phillips and Ernest Blumenschein, to visit Taos with his tales about the rich culture of Taos Pueblo and the beautiful land and light of northern New Mexico, a place where these men helped create a regional style of paintings based on New Mexican landscapes and Native American imagery. Sharp returned to Taos often and made it his permanent home in 1912. Along with Blumenschein, Phillips, and others, he was an original member of the Taos Society of Artists, established in 1915 to promote and exhibit the New Mexico paintings of the members throughout the country, making Taos one of the early major art colonies in the U.S. Sharp, best known for his realistic portrayals of American Indians, of the plains and the pueblos, also produced significant landscape paintings inspired by the visual beauty and light of New Mexico, as shown here in this painting, Taos Canyon. Included with other pieces of art in the sitting room is this striking portrait of Teresa Bacos by Will Schuster, a major figure in Santa Fe's early art colony days. In 1921, Schuster and Joseph Bacos, Teresa's husband, along with three other artists, founded the New Mexico Artist Society, known as Los Cinco Pintores, the Five Painters, which, like the more well-known Taos Society, worked to enhance the reputations of New Mexico artists. As a successful painter and an active supporter of the community, Schuster developed a colorful and realistic painting style, emphasizing warm earth tones which reflected the land and the homes of New Mexico. In addition to housing the governor and family, the mansion hosts hundreds of events each year in the public spaces that we have shown to you.
Hello, I'm Sherry Parsons, President of the New Mexico Governor's Mansion Foundation. I'm standing by this magnificent piece of art created by renowned sculptor Peter Kenny. Peter lived and worked all over the world, and his pieces are found in many private collections and museums, including the Smithsonian. He lived and worked in Taos, New Mexico, an art colony since the early 1900s. I invite you to learn more about our foundation at newmexicogovernorsmansion.org and consider becoming a supporter. I also invite you to come for a tour of the mansion as conditions permit and see more of the magnificent New Mexican art we are known for. See you at the mansion.